Okay everybody, welcome to Veliky Novgorod. Just arrived on the train, very comfortable train journey. Took about 2.5 hours from St Petersburg. And I've just seen a McDonald's at the train station. Say what you like about McDonald's, but when you arrive in a new city and you fancy a coffee or something like that, then it's perfect. So, talking about McDonald's, it's worth mentioning that Russian McDonald's is actually the cheapest in the world, I believe. Okay, I take back what I said about McDonald's. It's absolutely packed in there. I'm not going to queue for half an hour to buy a coffee. Alright, I'm waiting for my taxi now to the hotel. 150 rubles, not bad. Right everybody, first things first, I want to find a restaurant or a cafe, have something to eat, then do some research on the city, on the internet. There's a restaurant here, but they're not really giving much away on the exterior of the building. This is one of these restaurant moments when I peer through the window, then people inside are peering back at me. Okay, looks like some kind of wine restaurant or something. I'm going to keep going. Well, there's not such a huge amount of restaurants in this area. The hotel that I'm staying in is a little bit out of the center. Okay, we got a place on the other side of the road there. Restaurant Kitchen. Restaurant My Kitchen. Alright, I'll go and take a look. Okay, again, they're not giving very much away from the exterior of the restaurant. They could give me a clue, like put a picture of a burger on the window or something. Have a peer through the window. I hope this isn't one of these situations where, you know, when you arrive in a new city and you're looking for food and you just end up walking for miles and getting hungrier and hungrier and more stressed. Well, so far so good. I mean, I'm enjoying Veliky Novgorod so far, as much as you can enjoy a new city on an empty stomach, that is. Right, boys and girls, I'm down by the river now. I still haven't found any food, but I'm going to keep on walking. Wow, it looks pretty cool. They've got a sign on the bridge there saying Veliky Novgorod 859, I presume. That's the date the city was founded. Oh, look at that in the distance. There's some big galleon there. And over the other side of the river, you've got a beach. Looks pretty cool. Not super busy today because it's Thursday maybe. But at the weekend, I'm sure that gets packed. And over there, I presume, is a Veliky Novgorod Kremlin, which we're going to have a look at later, no doubt. Okay, let's find some bloody food. I'm a little bit regretting not queuing up at McDonald's now. But I very rarely eat at McDonald's. But I do like their coffee and their ice cream. Okay, we got a cafe and grill bar here, but again, it doesn't look very inviting. Looks more like a prison. And here we have the big galleon. Very beautiful. I wonder if they've got any food. There we go. Frigate Flagman. Looks like it could potentially be a restaurant. Probably a very fancy one. Probably not the kind of place I'm looking for a quick bite to eat in. Now there's a beautiful bridge here going across the river to the Kremlin. And I'd really like to walk across and have a good explore, but my mission at the moment is to eat something. So afterwards I can enjoy everything a bit more. So I'm going to go back in this direction and see if maybe I overlooked something I walked past, because there's nothing down here. Okay, I'm getting pretty tired now and sunburnt, so I'm going to go back to one of these restaurants I walked past earlier, the nondescript looking places, and give them a second chance. Okay, that nondescript restaurant turned out to be excellent. It has some nice Georgian food. So I'm just going to go back to the hotel now and relax a while. Then later this afternoon go for a walk. Alright everybody, I had my lunch and I'm back on the way to the Kremlin. The weather's starting to turn here, as you can see. It's getting a bit cloudy. There's been a few spots of rain. In St Petersburg there wasn't any rain for a couple of weeks, so I think there's going to be some thunderstorms. You can see behind here some big clouds brewing up. Down at the beach it's getting pretty busy. A lot of people swimming, cooling off. Down here, what have we got? Got some pleasure boats. Bunch of padlocks here. I'm hoping there'll be a kiosk or something down there because I'm parched. I need a cool drink. There we go, we got some kids down there diving into the river. Arbus I miata. Spasiba. My card. Can I have my card?
I'm so sorry.
No problem. Thanks. Well, that's a good start. Somebody speaking English in Veliky Novgorod. Right, before we go to the Kremlin, let's go and have a look what's happening down by the river. Okay, down by the beach now. I wish I brought my swimming stuff because it's absolutely boiling. Maybe I'll come down here tomorrow and have a swim. People playing beach volleyball here. I don't know how they got the energy in this heat. This guy looks like he's been enjoying the sun all day. All right, so here we are inside the Kremlin. Let's have a wander around. Let's go this way. Here we go, the bell tower of St Sophia Cathedral, 15th to the 19th century. An exhibition of ancient bells. Well, I'm not sure I'm going to see the exhibition. I mean, once you've seen one bell, you've seen them all. Well, they're pretty cool bells. Got some inscriptions on them. This one from 1659. So that's a few hundred years old. This one from 1839. There's a big hole in the top there. I wonder how they did that. And looks like somebody's stolen this bell. 1599. Alexandra Nevskoho. Some dates 1240 and 1242. So that's almost 900 years old. So everybody, here we have the centerpiece of the Kremlin, and it's called the Millennium of Russia Monument. The monument was erected in 1862 by the order of Emperor Alexander II to celebrate the millennium of the Russian state, an event traditionally taken as a starting point of Russian history as Rurik's arrival to Novgorod. The monument displays 129 figures representing Russian monarchs, clerics, generals and artists active during various periods of the history. It was created by sculptors Mikhail Mikishin, Ivan Schroeder and an architect Victor Gartman. During World War II, the Nazis dismantled the monument and prepared it to be transported to Germany. However, the Red Army regained control of Novgorod and the monument was restored to public view in 1944. So having a closer look, you can see it's quite a work of art. Many famous figures and heroes of yesteryear. And on the outside of the Kremlin wall, we of course have a moat, an old moat. Okay, so this humongous building up ahead is the Government of Novgorod building. Got some cool vehicles here. A monument of you know who. Oh, it's boiling. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I think I'm going to take a wander in the trees over here. It looks much cooler. Right, I'm having a look now for the center of the city. I'm not sure if it has one. A lot of cities in the former Soviet Union don't have a real center, maybe a main street or something like that. Got quite a few restaurants around here. Geografa restaurant and hotel. Meatburg cafe and bar, that sounds good. Any place with meat in the title is good with me. Let's keep walking down here, see what we can find. Another fancy looking cafe bar there. Cafe Telegraph. So still walking around the center. Quite a few restaurants about. There's a pizza restaurant here. Seems like the center isn't that concentrated. It's quite well spread out. So I think perhaps most of the nice stuff is where we were at the Kremlin. But I'll keep on walking down here just in case I find something interesting. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to be in Veliky Novgorod for. The plan was to escape St Petersburg for a few days because it was stiflingly hot there. The heat wave should be over on Monday in St Petersburg, so today's Thursday, maybe I could stay till Monday. Let's see. Wow, look at this quaint looking abandoned church in quite a state of disrepair, all locked up. The last hymns were sung here many moons ago. There you go, see what happens when you just walk around the back streets with no particular plan or destination. You come across some beautiful church. Well, it's not actually a church, it's a monastery. It's called Monastery of the Tivers, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably not. Right, here we go. So it's called the Desiatini Monastery. It's an inactive monastery or convent in Veliky Novgorod. It's one of 8 ancient monasteries of the Novgorod Republic. Now, the complex was developed over a lengthy period and now includes objects constructed in the periods from the 14th to the 20th centuries. It was finally completed at the beginning of the 20th century, but was closed in 1918 by, you guessed it, the Soviet government. Some buildings, including both churches and part of the monastery wall, were lost in the 20th century during World War II and the anti-religious campaign, with the result that the monastery is preserved fragmentarily. So let's have a look what this building is. Maybe some babushkas are living in here. Ooh, this is a bit creepy. Well, got no idea if people are living in here or maybe it's just used for storage. I think that's most likely explanation. Alright, so I decided to take a break and give my back a rest, and I've just ordered a cocktail, a mojito, for 300 rubles, so that's 3 British pounds. So let's see what it tastes like. Okay, my 3 quid mojito has just turned up, so let's see what it's like. Pretty good. Actually, I think they're a little bit stingy with the rum. It's mostly ice, water and mint. You want me, oh, don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me, oh. So it looks like the prices are a little bit lower than in St Petersburg. So taking a look at the menu, shashlik, pork shashlik, 170 grams with 70-gram garnish, 360 rubles, so that's about £3.50 in British money. Chicken shashlik, a little bit less. What else have we got here? Kartoffel free, that's chips, 110 rubles, about £1 British pound. Pasta carbonara, 250 grams, 320 rubles. It's about 100 rubles for £1 British pound. Now I'm looking at having a pizza. I haven't had a pizza in quite a long time. I feel a bit guilty about eating a pizza. But for about 300 rubles, I'm giving it some serious consideration. Okay everybody, it's evening time now, down at the beach. People are getting more active, more people playing volleyball, look. And right at the end there, apparently, is a victory monument. So let's go and have a look. So here we are at the Victory Memorial. Got some guns down there, a tank. Not too much different to many other victory memorials in Russia. Although, of course, we've got a boat at the top there. And these murals are pretty nice. So I'm really enjoying Veliky Novgorod so far. In St Petersburg it was way too hot and there's too much concrete there, but here, as you can see, got a big river, it's lush and green. So I made a very wise decision to escape. Now there's some cities that don't always live up to the hype for me. And one of those is Yekaterinburg. Now I was there a few weeks ago. A couple of my friends said it's very nice, but as soon as I got there, I didn't like the place. A lot of concrete, choking traffic, maybe the worst traffic I've seen outside of Moscow. And yeah, there was nothing really nice there at all. I mean, to be honest, I was only there for 2 days and I ended up in hospital when I was there. But yeah, apart from that, I just couldn't find anything charming about that city at all. I didn't look too much into the historical stuff. I went to go to the main street in Yekaterinburg, and it was the most uncharming street I've ever seen in my life. I'm now in an interesting area full of little churches. There's a couple over there. There's one here. There's one here that looks abandoned or not completed. Another one behind it. In fact, I think they're all abandoned. Veliky Novgorod, the city of abandoned churches. Hello, I've come to repent my sins. Okay, seems like I'm going to have to repent another day. Let's see if this one has a sign in English. I heard about this. Gate tower of the indoor market, 17th century. It's the only surviving building of the huge indoor market complex dating back to the 17th century. The indoor market was built of stone in Veliky Novgorod in 1692 to 1700. The construction work was initiated, blah 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 blah. Okay. St Nicholas Cathedral here. Instead of me reading all out, you can read for yourself. Okay, it has some 12th century frescoes have survived inside, apparently. I have to take their word for it though, because it looks shut. Everybody, it's another day in Veliky Novgorod. So everybody, the Novgorod Kremlin, or Novgorod Detonets as it's known, was originally the site of a pagan burial ground, upon which the first bishop of Novgorod, Joachim Kursinayan, built the Cathedral of Holy Wisdom upon his arrival in about 989 AD. So the first reference to the fortification on the site dates back to 1044, with additional construction work taking place in 1116. A few hundred years later, the fortress was rebuilt between 1484 and 1490 by Muscovite builders in the wake of Grand Prince Ivan III's conquest of the city in 1478. A third of it was paid. Can you shut up, for God's sake? Sorry about that, guys. Cute little church here. There's a lot of construction work going on in the Kremlin today. Church of St Andrei Saratalatus, 15th to the 17th century. Here we go, an eternal flame. No doubt to remember the war dead. Of course, there was that famous song in the 1980s by the Bangles called Eternal Flame. Close your eyes, give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? It's surprising how I know these songs from the 1980s, considering I'm only 25. And here we have the LGBTQ donkey, or unicorn. And here we have a COVID vaccination van. Good luck, guys. Okay, everybody, I thought I'd take advantage of being in the provinces, and I just had my hair cut. I think it was the slowest haircut of my entire life. It took about an hour and a half. And there was only 600 rubles, so I had to give him a big tip. I'm not sure if everything's okay until I get home, but nevertheless, when he asked me, do you like it? As always, I say yes, in true British style. But then, when I get home, I'll probably be cursing him to death. So on that side of the bridge, you've seen that it's very lovely indeed, but if you look on this side of the bridge, it's all under construction. Across the other side of the river there, they're building a new embankment. We can see the diggers. And here, on this side of the river, we can see men at work. So I'm sure it's going to look equally as nice as on the other side of the bridge. Got something here, I don't know what it is, it looks a bit like a prison with a watchtower. Now if you look in the distance there's some big white looking socialist style building, and I have no idea what it is, so I'm going to walk in that direction and have a look. Okay, so here we are. Very interesting looking old building. Now I'm assuming it's a theatre. Here we go, Theatre Drami. And as you can see, there's a lot of construction work going on. Seems to be a lot of construction happening in Veliky Novgorod, which is great for the local people. I don't think they're going to do... I'm not sure they're going to do much to the structure of the building. Maybe just outside. Let's go and have a closer look. You can see inside the curtains have turned brown from decades of sunlight. Not sure what this thing's supposed to be. So So, despite the appearance from the outside, it looks like this theatre is still very much in use. I'm sure it's lovely inside. Waiting for my taxi now back to the hotel. Alexander. Gonna be here in 3 minutes. Come on, Alexander, I expect more for my £1.20. Okay, everybody, that's about it from me from the Hotel Sadko in Veliky Novgorod. Hope you enjoyed the video and stay tuned for the next one. Bye for now.